Welcome back to Firearms 101 for new gun owners. We have Ben Branam with us from Modern Self-Protection. Ben, you and I, when we meet, we talk about holsters because the gun you don't have isn't a lot of good. Talk to me about the good and bad of a holster and why we need it.
So holsters designed to carry your gun safely and give you access to it. That's it. It's pretty
Doesn't
simple.
every holster do that?
No. Some holsters
Okay,
don't give
now
you
tell me,
access and some holsters aren't safe. So I brought a
tell me
couple
more.
out
Come on.
of my closet and stuff, and I want to show you two of the big things I keep about holsters. This is a Kydex holster. It's plastic. They call it Kydex, but it's plastic, made by Concealment Solutions. I know that's one of your sponsors. He makes great stuff over there. It's a great spot to get a holster. But two things. The holster has to hold the gun, and it has to hold it safely. So I have an unloaded gun here. If I put it in there and I hold the holster upside down, look, it doesn't fall out. That's the first thing. It needs to actually hold the gun. If I shake it a little bit, it still doesn't fall out. So that's actually holding the gun. A lot of the nylon cheapy, and I'm going to throw Uncle Mike straight under the bus. They make some good stuff, but 90% of what they make is $10 holsters that if you put your gun in there and you turn it upside down, it'll fall out. The other thing that you need is a safe holster. Part of that is the falling out. The other thing is if you look at this holster, it completely covers the trigger guard. You can see that I can't see the trigger at all. I can't access the trigger at all. There is no way without breaking this holster that I could get in there to discharge the gun. That's what makes a safe holster. And generally, Kydex plastic holsters are a real good choice. I got a leather holster that I had custom made for me. I love this thing. It's super comfortable, but you can see the same thing. It doesn't fall out. And this one with the leather, I can get in there a little bit more, but I can't get in there far enough without breaking the holster to get to the trigger to actually fire the gun. I have a crappy holster that I bought because I'm an instructor. I buy all sorts of holsters to test. This one is a big claim to fame. It's a little piece of leather kind of strapped together and has a big old magnet in there so you can just put it on your belt. Not helpful. And this one is rated for like 15 different guns. One of them is this little J-frame revolver I have in there. But when you start looking at it, I can already see where the holster and the trigger is exposed. And if I actually use my finger, I can reach in and discharge this gun. Because I'm paranoid of safety, I'm going to make sure the gun's open and safe before I actually put it in there and go click so I don't have a bang. But when I do that, I'm going to double check and see I can put my finger in there and I can pull the trigger without any problems. That is an unsafe holster. You know what you do with these? Return them, throw them away, whatever. I get them to test them and to show off like this. So safe holster holds the gun without falling out, and then it doesn't allow access to that trigger until the gun leaves the holster. When you pull it out, and this leather one is super tight because I had it custom made for me, but when it comes out, now that it's halfway out, then I can start getting to the trigger. So that's the biggest safety thing you can have about holsters. The other thing you can see about holsters when you start to buy them is if the company lists 30 different firearms or 40 different firearms that holster will hold, it's probably one of the ones you want to throw away. You are looking for one that is listed. I mean, this Kydex holster here is listed for 2 different makes of model Smith & Wesson. That's it. That's all it holds. It holds the M&P 9, which I carry all the time, and it carries their updated version, the M&P 2.0, and that is it. Anything else is not going to fit in here real well, and it's not going to work. So buy the holster that's made for you and for your gun. And I think this one says M&P 9 on here. No, he didn't write it in. But it doesn't matter. You need a gun that they say is made, or a holster that's made for your gun. I can't say that enough. Don't buy one that says 15 different or 30 different gun models. It has to have just 1 or 2 models, and it needs to be your gun.
Well, Ben, tell me what you tell the student who says, I don't need to worry about that, putting my finger on the trigger. I'm going to put the gun in my pocket.
Okay, I'm sorry. Exasperated. Let me give you a stupid safety rule to add to it. I say no naked loaded guns. If this trigger is there and exposed somewhere, sooner or later something will get in there. If I put this gun loaded in my pocket right now, it's going to flop around. I'm wearing some tactical pants, so I've got the big pockets and the cargo pockets and the deep pockets. And if I put anything else in there, like, oh, I don't know, I carry a tactical pen all the time, and it starts doing this bit,
Yeah.
that's a
Ben, has that ever
disaster waiting to
happened where a
happen.
gun discharged in a pocket?
How many times have we heard that? Yeah, news media all the time. There was the horrible, horrible one where the little girl was playing in the mom's purse and discharged the gun and killed the mother in the Walmart. So you want to talk
Yeah.
about
Okay.
what could happen if you screw up? This is what could happen. That's horrible. Don't do that.
So
You need a holster,
So
and it goes
so
in a
even if I
holster. It
have a
doesn't go
gun
loose
in a
anywhere.
purse, I still need a holster in that pocket. Is that true?
Correct. No naked loose guns. I don't know how many times I could say that, but yes, I carry
Well,
tactical man bags too. And my tactical
Okay.
man bag, I will take one of my concealed holsters here. I don't know who made this one, but another one I had custom made for me. It will go in the holster just like that. You see, it covers the trigger guard, everything. It doesn't fall out. And I will put this in my man bag, and that's how the gun will stay. When I put guns in my safe for the night, I put them in a holster. So I can't accidentally reach for that gun and grab the trigger. I have to make some kind of actual movement to get access to that trigger so I don't have any accidents. And we talked a little bit about that in one of the other videos and stuff. I don't want to have any of those problems. So I say no naked loaded guns. Some instructors disagree with me. I will argue till the ends of the earth that put it in a holster, put it in your safe. If you're going to load it and put it in a bag, I mean, I got one of these. I got a bag out. This is a stupid little bag that's made for guns, and it's nice and padded to hold your gun and everything. If I was going to put a loaded gun in this and carry it around, I would still put it in a good holster, put it in there, and then carry it around with me in a house like this so that I cannot accidentally squish this bag and get the holster, get the gun. And then if I'm in a hurry and a bad guy's coming and I have to unzip this bag, when I reach in, I reach out and then I have to access the gun to get that. And I know it takes a while, but you know what? The stupidest thing you could ever do in a gunfight is shoot yourself. Don't
Let
do
me ask
that.
this, Ben.
I got to cover a couple things in that you covered, and I think you covered them well. But one of them is when you say about a holster that it's got multiple part numbers, that it says it holds this and this and this and this. If it does multiple things, it does none of them well. And so keep that in mind, that the lesser amount of whatever it does it better. And so when it's universal does not, in the gun industry, does not equate to good. And then when you were talking about like the loose generalities kind of holsters, the one word that I've got is when you turn your holster over, you want to make sure that your gun stays put, as you demonstrated, as you showed. And people are like, well, why? What's the big deal? Well, most of the time when you're moving around your gun in your holster and you're manipulating things, it's because you're using the restroom. And if your gun falls out when you're in the action of either taking a seat or getting up, and it goes plop, there is no, you can't leave it. You have to bail it out. So a good holster will keep your gun from getting wet.
That's a good way to put it. But the other thing we do is that without doing the number two, we walk around, we sit down, we get up, we move around. All of us are seated right now, but we're going to walk away and get up. And when we do that, every time you sit down, you put pressure on one of these guns one way or the other, because it'll press against your back, it'll press up and out, it'll press down and in, it'll press outward. It puts stress and torque on this holster trying to get it out. And when you have those cheap holsters, I'm sorry, I threw it over there, or I would grab it and show you. But when you put torque on those cheap holsters, it widens and opens the holster and allows the gun to fall out. So that's why the dump method is pretty simple. If it doesn't fall out, then that's a good enough holster that it's not going to torque like that when you're just moving around and doing normal things. And when you bump on it, we could go story after story. There was an FBI agent that was doing backflips in a dance hall that had a piss poor holster, and his duty weapon fell out on the ground, and he went to pick it up, and he was just in a hurry because I don't know, and he pulled the trigger when he retrieved his weapon, and he shot some poor lady in the leg.
1 minute.
Right.
Horrible things can happen when this stuff happens. So get a good holster, please. I beg you.
So as a wrap up, what one bit of advice would you give to a new gun owner as they're shopping for a holster?
Find one that has just your gun listed as the model that it holds, not the multiple mess holster. And then easy is make sure it's either made out of Kydex or leather. And if it's below $20 or $30, you have the wrong holster. Holsters should cost $50 to $100 and more. The Kydex holsters will be cheaper. Most of them are going to be $60 to $75, and then you'll probably have a good holster. If you have a $20 holster, you are buying a piece of junk that will drop your gun and will be unsafe.
Okay, that's a very good thing. One of the things, a very good message. One of the things that a lot of people hear is you buy your first holster based on price, you buy your second holster based on comfort, because then you learn what you don't know. And so you're saving everybody that first, let's throw this holster away purchase. So thanks, Ben Branam, for joining us for Guns 101. We'll be back with more because there's more of these videos. So stay tuned and look us up. You'll find more.